Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is CP also known as Rob, and today we're having a quick look at a free game that you guys should probably look at yourselves. This game is called Floating Point, made by the same guy that made Gunpoint. This is a free game on Steam, but you can go and grab it right now. And the idea of this game, do this little dot guy here, and the entire system is kind of like a web slinger, like Spider-Man 2 done right. Well, the Spider-Man 2 that was done right. Variety of mechanics in this game beyond just the score, one of which includes the faster your little ball guy is moving, the bigger these red bars get. Not only does that make the red bars easier to get, it also raises the amount of points you get for each bar. Now, ideally, if you were actually good at this game, unlike me, you'd be able to move about these levels all completely smoothly, like just as if you're gliding through the air. Of course, a lot of us, namely me, not that good. For instance, right there is assuming I'd make that. The controls of it are very simple. It's all you really need is the mouse. Your left click shoots out a web or line, or technically grappling hook, I guess. And if you click it again or hold it down, you start to move towards wherever the line is attached, like you're reeling it in, kind of. And right click breaks the wire. Very simple mechanics, very hard to master. The level, as you see, is split into two parts. Part of it is underwater, which is where I am right now. You're very buoyant, it seems. And the underwater bit's kind of tricky because since you're so buoyant, you just fly right up. And obviously the deeper you are or higher you are, depending on which side of the water line you are on, depends on how fast you move up or down. There appears to be an invisible wall there that I haven't hit yet. And after you get to a certain score, you can go ahead and hit enter to move on to the next level. And you can say you're having problems with a particular one, you can just go ahead and hit enter anyways. Of course, you don't get score, but if you're really stuck and you're frustrated, it's nice to be able to do that just so you can move on. Now, of course I'm dropping frames. Of course. This game has music to it, which I currently have muted. If I turn it on, it's pretty decent. There are a variety of things you can change in-game in this customized setting. Your retract speed, your react bonus when multiplier is low, etc., etc. All this stuff, whenever you change one thing, when you're on the default, whenever you change them, it automatically becomes your custom file. You have your ability to reset high scores as well. The controls, beyond the simple stuff, you can just use W and D, or A and D rather, to move left or right slowly. So if you get stuck on a block, like I was there for a second, you don't have to grapple with it. As you can see, if you're good enough, you can become very graceful and get really fast with your movement. Obviously, the more open the level is, the easier it is to move around. And if I can complete this level, I'll show you another cool little thing. Actually, there's 17 left, so I'll keep on talking, because I'm not good enough to do that quickly. Now, when you're underwater, you do move a lot slower, and it's a lot harder to build up speed. One thing to be careful of, don't just hold it down and get there. It's stuck to a block. The more you hold it down when you're reeling it in, of course that means that your line is also getting much shorter and you won't always be able to make it around the block just like that. Or that. Or that. Yeah, you know when I said I wasn't good at the game? I meant I'm terrible at it. One? What? That's not what I wanted to do. It's a very fun game, and it's free. That is something that's getting kind of rare to really find anymore. Granted, it was rare in the first place, because who would give something away for free, but, you know. If there is one thing I have to say, it's that nobody who has a computer, even a terrible one like mine, has any excuse to not have this game. It will stay free on Steam, I assume, for its entire lifespan, but it really is a rare case where this kind of web sling mechanic has been done decently. That is not something you see very often. Whether it be the new Amazing Spider-Man games, or I'm connected. Whether it be the new Amazing Spider-Man games that do it horribly, or maybe another indie game that attempts, they never seem to quite get it. Beyond stuff like in the Batman Arkham series, I remember there was a grappling hook that you could swing with, but it was all kind of pre-animated, pre-scripted type of stuff. Whereas this, you actually have to kind of get the nuance of it. At the same time, you have to predict what your trajectory is. Okay, there's that feature that I was talking about earlier. And you can zoom in and out however much you want, by the way. Where the entire time you're on a level, it tracks where you are, and whenever you beat it, you get this nice white collage, which is supposed to look nice if you're not absolutely terrible, but you might find something decent. Like this one kind of looks like Mario, all distorted. Got his little hat, and that's where the M would be, and then you got his eye here, and eye there, and mustache, and he's okay. That's evil, but he has one giant ear and one wide ear. I'm getting creeped out. Let's go to the next level. Okay, but yeah, as you can see, you can play however far or close to the dot as you want. This I could see a little bit more useful as all the way in. Look, Mom, no eyes. I can't even tell where I am. How have I not hit something yet? This is just hilarious. Maybe that is more possible than I was thinking. As you can see down the bottom right, whenever I get a new bar, it tells you how many are left. I could get going. Of course, every time you hit a wall, every time you hit a wall, the bars do shrink a lot. The great thing about this game's settings, you can change that. If I find there we go. Lost when bumping into things, currently at 20%. You can actually make that negative. and I believe all these variables are as big as you want. So let's just do that, for instance. Now watch the bars. And you could just do that infinitely. I'm gonna go ahead and reset to defaults. Now when you reset to defaults, it does. I didn't see if it changed the level or not. I do believe so, but it does reset your score, so you can't really cheat to get a higher score beyond having that custom file saved. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn the music on. Give you a larger sample of the music. It is very nice. It's not the best music ever in a game, but just listen to it. Okay, now that you had a sample of that amazing music, I think that's pretty much it I can really say about this game. This is a new series I hope to start where I review, well, not really review, but point out some free games that you may or may not miss. This really is one of the ones that I have to say everybody should play. Partially because I love web slinging and that kind of thing. I used to run around the original Spider-Man 2 games on the PlayStation just web slinging. I was never really particularly great at it, but momentum manipulation in video games has always been fascinating, not only to me, but a lot of people, as a mechanic that is not only not very well explored in many cases, but is also underused. And when you look back at a lot of games that try and call themselves all about speed and stuff like that, whether it be a racing game or something like Sonic the Hedgehog, it's all about this momentum manipulation. And not only is it something very good at getting you thinking, which this world really needs much more of. I can say that after being in science class with some people from my school, even the smarter ones. It's something different. It's something that's not really the status quo, which we really, in the gaming industry, need more and more of these days. As more and more franchises just turn into blah 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 shooter, blah 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 arcade racing, blah 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 something else, we really need to expand the horizons and get the variety we need, and this thing is right there we go. We really need to just remember what different things can do. Remember what the variety of the gaming industry, how much that has contributed to making it as big as it is. My name is Vinci Pimenez. also known as Rob, and thank you for watching.